Oh yeah. Never mind. All right, let's see.
All right, and we're up here.
Cool. I see it.
Feel free to go live if you guys want to.
Yeah, we did.
Cool.
We are on. We're up
here. Let's see.
Feel free to go.
Okay. Whoops. Click on the link.
Hello, YouTube world. We're about to get started here.
What up, YouTube? Everyone
yo.
watching? What is it? Monkey's uncle and what is it? The Bruin dude?
backhand
There you go.
Bruin.
BB.
Oh, Bruin backhand. That's Jeff. I think we already established that, right?
Oh, right, Jeff Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm discombobulated. All right, so we're
Yeah.
live on YouTube.
What is the boob? I mean the booze. I'm obviously discombobulated too. I can't speak.
Not that yet. Not that yet. I feeling a little under the weather. Maybe a sinus infection or something.
Okay. I thought maybe it was yeah, that's probably that.
Give it an hour and then I'll blame it on that. But so we're live. We're just chit-chatting a little bit. Just spilled my drink.
Good times.
Which I'm surprised it hasn't happened before. You know?
It was just whiskey though, right? So it couldn't have been a lot of liquid.
Oh, you said just whiskey is disrespectful to the whiskey, but no, yeah, it wasn't a lot. It was mostly ice and my mouse pad caught it. So I was able to slurp it off there. Yeah, so we're getting ready to go.
Probably
Posted.
gonna. Yay.
Yep.
What happened?
Posted.
Letting the
Okay.
people know.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought you already done that, but that's good.
No, I just clicked the posted the link. So,
Oh man.
hopefully our regulars.
Oh,
say
so
hi.
Bruin, I thought you were when I got on,
Oh, there it
you
is.
talk about Bruin backhand, and I thought maybe they were already on there.
Oh, Bruin is.
Oh, already?
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. He is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you did.
Shout out to Bruin, our most dedicated fan,
What
watcher,
up?
supporter,
Hey,
whatever
hey,
you want
hey.
to call it.
Hey, when's he going to come on? When's he going to come on? It's been I don't know. I think it's been
That's-
tough.
He was
year
having
for,
PC issues last time, which was like over a year ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to him soon. Yeah, so let me get my files straight here. And yeah, you guys have to I'm winging it a little bit tonight.
Could always
Right.
do more embarrassing date stories.
you got some built up. Did you have some new ones in the last 2 weeks?
I mean, not in the last 2 weeks, but I just had odd stories from over the years, few dates I've been on, or more embarrassing high school tales. I mean, this one involves my glasses fucking thinking on their own.
All right, maybe
Did someone's butt break your glasses?
let's see. how
No,
it
my
goes.
glasses broke themselves.
It broke.
Did we do that over the women aren't funny?
We can do. I might.
We asked
might-
Jeff what he wants.
I might. I was just gonna bring that up maybe just because Jane was very vocal in that one today.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, he kind of kept it going
Bruin
One of the
backhand.
more active threads, honestly.
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple people got triggered.
They sure did.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's not that serious.
Okay, let's see.
Tackle Box. What's up, Tackle Box?
Wait, he says he's not Jeff. Who is Jeff?
That's Jeff. Tackle Box is the one that said, who the F is Jeff?
Tackle Box is Sean.
Yep.
That's right. Yep. We'll talk about our Zoom call. That was fun.
Yeah, fun times.
Oh, whoops, that doesn't work. Anyway, I'm going to stop trying to even look at the YouTube because
Please do.
it's like a few second delay and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm ready to
Let's do it.
get going. I might be a little sloppy, but
It's all right. We got this, man. We got this.
yeah, man.
All right. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back to episode 59 of your Endless Ranters podcast. My name's Chris, and I am but one of your Endless Ranters hosts for tonight's episode. Your other hosts, the crew is here. We've got the lovely and talented Jane. Hi, Jane.
Hello.
We've got Robbie Spotlight in the house.
Hey, everybody.
What up, Robbie?
Hey.
And last but not least, it's producer Manny. What's going down, old man?
What up? What up?
Oh, all kinds of stuff, man. It's been a fun week. First of all, thanks for everyone that's joining in. Thanks for everyone that's listening, watching, supporting the show. We really appreciate feedback, comments, whatnot. Speaking of that, what's been going on the last week in the Endless Ranters universe? We've got last Friday night. So we recorded last week on a Wednesday. We took a night off. Then Friday night, we did a Zoom call, a Zoom party call. Is that what the kids call it nowadays?
Yes, sir.
And that was a shitload of fun. So I'll let one of you guys talk about everybody that was there, right? We had
I was late to the party.
Yeah, it went super late too. Like it was an impressive showing. And we had people from I thought starting that late we'd only have West Coasters, but no, we had
Coasters.
Yeah, let's see, Alex Sadek, and I hope I'm saying your name right.
Yep.
In Pennsylvania, Mindy from Boston, Sean from was he upstate New York?
He would not say upstate. He would tell you Western New York in
Western.
outside of or in Buffalo or outside of Buffalo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Rich Skeldon.
Rich Skeldon.
Dude, that guy was adding so much freaking foley to the foley work to the Zoom call.
The what work?
All the foley work, like so many sound effects and extra.
Oh, yeah.
Just adding ambiance, atmosphere. It's like, bro, like I get you're excited, but chill.
He was on a road trip to Topeka, Kansas.
There we go.
That's
I was making fun of him because that was the weirdest city, and I stopped there on my drive out when I moved out here last summer. I was like, Topeka, Kansas was dead, completely dead. It's a capital city. They even shut down its airport a couple of years ago because there wasn't enough business. So
his handheld view was like,
was
off to the off to the side, the angle. He's looking down at something that was it looked like, I don't know, looked like a celebrity being filmed when they didn't want to be filmed. They had their head down. They're doing something wrong or something.
Well, regardless, we were happy to have him join.
It was good.
It
was good. He's in our group. Yeah, he's not in the Adam Carolla Facebook group anymore, the ASOLs group anymore, but he's in ours. And it was good to see him. Yeah, it was good to see him. There was once a time where we went at it pretty hard and we fucked with each other a lot, but all in good fun. I don't know.
Everybody bust balls pretty aggressively in that group.
It's a love-hate relationship.
That's true. I've changed. I've mellowed. I've softened.
And I had and B Frank made appearances.
Yeah, that was
wow. They were popping in and out.
Yeah, Hi Hat and Daisy. That was really nice to see them both.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
B Frank.
Oh, and actually, B Frank is online right now. So what's up,
good.
B Frank? Yeah.
What up?
Loyal viewer, listener. Hi, Bri.
Hey. Also,
he's that guy that Adam talks about that. Always finds an excuse to go shirtless.
Oh
no
yeah.
matter the-
That guy, yeah. He went skydiving last weekend shirtless.
Oh, that's
no
right.
shirt.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hit-
He had a shit. I think you have to wear a shirt in that situation. But he's probably like, "Can I take my shirt off?"
Imagine
Yeah.
all the chafing you'd feel.
Oh, yeah. You'll end up with no nipples by the time you get down to the ground.
Yeah. Well,
Who else was Mindy?
Yeah.
Spring.
Yeah, I mentioned Mindy. She was.
Oh, you did.
She called in from Boston. She was on the latest. She
Yeah.
stayed
Yeah.
out so
Yeah.
late. I couldn't stay awake for it.
We all had a counseling session all together.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
yeah, we got deep. We got
Yeah.
deep. At least, I mean, we had to stop eventually. It was 3 a.m. my time, and I could not speak anymore. Like I had lots of thoughts, but could not get my mouth to make the sounds right. So I just had to give in before I started slurring too badly. So yeah. And then I went to just get into bed, and I realized all my sheets and things were in the dryer. I was like, oh, it's the
You
worst.
see, if I had posted that meme a week earlier, I would have had you covered.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
the dryer.
Yeah, the
right.
dryer meme.
Oh, that's right.
Whoever's reading this, don't forget to check your jar, or you still have clothes in your dryer, or something along those lines.
Oh, I might, yeah. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot
did you,
of fun. Yeah,
what did you
really
sleep
appreciate
under?
Everybody. Oh, I put the sheets on, dude.
Oh, I
did
thought
it.
you like grabbed like an Amazon
did it.
package and just put it on top of it.
I thought I was gonna go old school and sleep in between the mattresses.
I could
Yeah,
have
that-
slept on the sofa, but
Yeah.
no, I did it because I knew that I was going to sleep really late the next day, and I did. I slept till almost noon.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was good to see everybody, especially Mindy. She hung in there late, and we had some good conversations.
Yeah.
So
Kara
good stuff.
Kara Rodriguez
Oh, that's
was on
right. Kara
That's
did
right.
pop in.
That was awesome.
there.
We
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kara.
Shit, what's up, girl?
We were really
It's a
lucky.
shame I wasn't able to see her after she got, out of her work clothes.
Yeah. She said she was going to get more comfortable.
Exactly, man. Unfortunately, that I couldn't see that. My phone
Oh.
died before that.
That was quite the tease.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had a couple of people mention they want to be in the next time, and really looking forward to that. What else happened in this week? As posted just a little while ago, and the podcast episode just dropped of the two grumpy bastards. Jane and I had the privilege of being on their show. We recorded with them on Sunday afternoon, and I think the goal was to have about a 30-minute spot, 30-minute interview on the tail end of their show. And we talked for like 2 hours. We just kept going, and we just had a great time. That feeling when you're just talking and things come up and you just go whichever way the conversation goes. That was a great conversation with these two guys, Coop and Russ.
Yeah,
I think-
time flew with them.
Yeah, it did.
sure.
And just a couple tidbits from that show. We talked a good bit about their military experience, overseas in Afghanistan, Iraq, and some real stories about, their experiences. Not like, hey, and then I jumped in this and I went around the corner and then I threw a grenade, not that kind of stuff, but more like the psychological experience of warfare that, obviously we have no idea about, but just very enlightening. And I love the part where they were talking about the American soldier and the difference between American soldiers and say Russian soldiers, and how our kind of the psychology of it is that, where when an American leader is killed on the battlefield, there's someone that steps up right away. There's everybody in that platoon is ready to step up. And with other armies, I believe them that, just the nature of their society, their countries, whatever, it's not quite like that. Kill the leader and, the unit scrambles. They don't know what to do. So really great conversation. They talked a good bit about, PTSD and, what their thoughts on that were, and how it affects some people, but not others, and why that might be, their backgrounds that led them into the military. Really, really great conversation. Love those guys, and really,
It's not all military, by the way. It's
That's true.
We also get into like pop culture and like kind of the current state of our society.
Yeah.
In case you're like turned off by military.
Actually, my favorite army is the Salvation Army. My mom used to take me as a kid all the time.
Those
Oh,
are the
I
heroes.
thought you had me
Those are
going.
the
I
real
thought you were going to
heroes.
be a part of the KISS Army there for a second.
Oh yeah.
Those are the real heroes. Yeah. That gave me clothes. Yeah. really
you
good
know,
good guys. So
they're doing a lot of good. The Salvation Army.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
that's the guy with the Santa Claus. Those are the guys with the Santa Claus standing outside the Walmart with the red bucket.
Ding,
Are they
ding.
allowed to do
I
that
live next to
anymore?
a Safeway that
Yeah.
had a Salvation Army guy, and
Yeah.
all the entire month of December, it was just like a constant ding, like it nonstop. It was so annoying.
You didn't get creative, like the guys with the arrows that point at businesses and the flip.
Flipping
No,
signs.
they
yeah.
don't. They probably don't have any rhythm. These guys that do
I would have
these
gone
jobs.
creative.
There's no hope.
Ding ding is the best they could
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So yeah. So where do we go from here? Boys and girl. Where do we go from here? Like
Hot
I said,
topics.
I'm a little under the weather, so I'm counting on my co-host to carry me a little bit tonight.
Yeah. So why
Okay,
don't we
actually, if I
introduce-
can, just a quick, we were talking about military real quick. If I can give a shout out to a veteran who was a former guest, Tyrone Arthur. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday to Tyrone.
Yay.
Happy birthday!
Beautiful.
Oh,
Happy birthday
Yeah.
to you.
happy birthday to you, Sapo birthday, Tyrone. That actually reminds me
Yeah.
of a story where I had an opportunity to meet the man, but I couldn't. So let's get
Oh.
into that.
Where's
Yeah,
he
tell us.
located?
He's out in Arizona, and this is back Halloween weekend 2015. There was a 2-day concert festival called the Monster Mash,
The Monster Mash. Okay.
Mash.
and a good handful of bands that I really enjoy and look up to. Their drummers were playing all on both nights. So I was like, I have to go. This is stupid not to. So he only went for the first night. The second night he had to work, and honestly, the bands on the second night weren't really calling his attention. I was there with my girlfriend, and my ex, then girlfriend, after the show ended, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, dude, I'm over here at this restaurant," and it was everything. So here's the cool thing about about Arizona is there's an abundance of parking downtown or the surrounding areas, but everything is also within walking distance. So you don't really need to drive your car anywhere, honestly. At least
The
parts
worst
where I
thing-
was at.
The worst thing about going downtown to venues, places, is the parking. It's just such a hassle to get there.
Fuck
So yeah,
yeah.
I really appreciate large metropolitan towns, cities, whatever, that have plenty of parking. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And then, it's big city living in a small or whatever
Yeah, I like
whatever it
that.
was called. Yeah. And so he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm over here on the other side of the strip. Or do you want to come down?" I couldn't because my ex, she has a few chronic illnesses and they were flaring up. So I was like, nah, I can't. As much as I want to, it would be too much of a hassle for her. And so, next time we'll have an opportunity to meet him next time, Tyrone. But
Yep.
I mean, the fact that we were still there at the same concert, rocking the fuck out. I mean, it was still just enough.
You
to
were
be like,
there,
"Yo,"
yeah,
exactly. We were
yeah.
there, bruh. I felt your spirit.
Now, Tyrone, if I recall correctly, he's the one who told us that Britton Hart is actually, it was pronounced Brighton.
Yeah,
He was so sure about that. He was so sure. And he actually met Britton and was so sure that it was Brighton. So sure. I don't think he was messing with us, but yeah. And then I checked with Britton and he said, no, that's not true at all. And that's not how he says his name. So that's what I remember. But yeah, he was a good guy. We had a good conversation with Tyrone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually chatting with him a few weeks back. He works, I think, graveyard shift. So we were kind of going back and forth, and I was like recommending shows, and I was kind of telling creepy stuff. And no, he's a cool dude. We were kind of going back and forth. It was fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, happy birthday, Tyrone.
I think that, yeah, Robbie, you're the one who recommended that we get Tyrone on back then, because I had not had that many interactions with him in the group. And but yeah, good call, Robbie Spotlight.
All right.
All right,
Jane?
so I don't know, Robbie, you got some. We had a trending topic today online that Jane was getting into with some dudes and maybe a gal. I don't know. It was a Leslie. You never know these days with a Leslie.
Leslie. Yeah, dude.
Leslie pretty much transitioned from male to female.
In the
kinda like
span of that
Ashley.
post.
Like Ashley and Lindsay.
Oh, I thought you meant maybe Leslie started off as a start in the post, in the actual comments of that Facebook post, started off as a man and turned into a woman.
Oh no.
It happens sometimes.
Well, the person that posted it looks like it's a dude. H. His name starts with an H. So,
Oh yeah. He's
yeah.
fancy.
One of those. It was one of those things. Well, okay. So the post, as the people that listen to Adam Carolla know, I guess he not really got in trouble, but he made a comment about, women are not funny, but he sort of explained it, right? I don't know if anybody wants to explain.
He was asked in an interview whether who's funnier, men or women.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how he is. He doesn't really couch his answers or qualify. He just said men.
Mm-hmm.
But that got turned into, how things get mistranslated or whatever.
Yeah.
That got turned into women aren't funny. And so
what you're saying is women aren't funny.
And well, basically, I think what he said, right? His kind of theory, which I would agree, it's kind of like an evolutionary kind of hunter gatherer, men trying to kind of woo a woman, with our humor. So I think that's kind of our thing, maybe our defense mechanism. So and like Chris said, that's the media kind of took it upon themselves to say, Adam Carolla said, women are funny.
Humor correlates with competence that women are looking for.
Yeah, if you're funny, maybe that's
theory.
Like clever, or you're figuring things out, as opposed to like slapstick comedy when you're smashing fruit. Does that work too, Jane? Is that a turn on?
No,
like a Gallagher smashing fruit?
She's not a big fan of fruit
witty.
comedy.
Like
It's hack. It's lazy.
nut shots.
Yeah.
So the post was basically it was just a post that said that he shared. It said, if you find a girl that makes you laugh, keep her. Women are not funny. So some people got triggered. A friend of ours, Bridget, she said, this is awesome. And she's a woman, so great.
I never know what she's saying. I don't know if she was like, this is awesome, or this is awesome, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, she put 4 exclamation marks on there.
Oh, that's tricky.
Yeah. If it would have been 3, then I would have known for sure.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, Jane kind of chimed in.
Yeah, I chimed in because this is like something that kind of hits me in my core, because I know as someone I'm more likely to lead with being funny than I am more feminine qualities. And that does not work. I will say it does not work in attracting men. So I'm like, when I hear men say that they want a woman who makes them laugh, I just shake my head and I'm like, you can say that, but I will not believe you unless I see this in action.
I do.
Okay. I've never met any of your girls, so
I only fuck with funny women, dude. Like some of them are really ruthless. So I dig that, because to me, it's just like a competition of matching wits. So if I've come across a chick that like really busts balls, like, hey, what's your name?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
not
but
to-
I would say it's not a very ladylike thing. Like, I'm a ball buster too. And I will say it's probably
you
not
do bust balls, but you're not like aggressive to the point where I'm just like,
right.
Not
Okay. That's
threatening.
the kind of the line I try to like sit at, but some men would not distinguish. They don't really distinguish between what I do and maybe some of the other women we see.
I like funny women because why not? I guess I feel pretty secure. So I'm like, this is good. I like to laugh. So this woman makes me laugh. So I'm in. This is good. But yeah, I can see where maybe some dudes who, don't know themselves like I know myself might feel like, wait a minute here. I'm trying to make you laugh and you're making, like, it may be kind of a subconscious thing where, they see maybe humor as the dominant quality, so that when you are kind of doing that and taking charge of a situation with humor, I don't know, it might throw them for a loop, or it might just be, maybe it's not what they were. I'm big on this. Like, predictability is very important to people, everybody really, predictability. I mean, some more than others, but that it surprises somebody, or it's not predictable. Or they may have had some jokes they been working on in the car, on the ride to the date. So
I-
maybe it confuses them or throws them off, and they don't know what to think.
I think it's similar to kind of like career success, income, where
Okay.
two successful people are generally gonna, like, successful people want to be with another successful person, but it is more with the woman that, like, a successful woman doesn't want to be, they want someone a little more successful than them. But yeah, so it's sort of like a similar, like, as a funny girl, like, I want the guy to be maybe just a little funnier than me, but he still needs to laugh at my jokes. But the guy is
Gotcha.
still going to want me to laugh at his jokes, and he might want to feel like he's a little bit funnier and wittier than me, and I'm okay with that. I'd be okay with that dynamic. But I don't know if the reverse is as comfortable for either side.
I'm gonna have to think about this more. When we were with the Coop and Russ on the Two Grumpy Bastards podcast, we were talking about the Savannah brain and how our brains are still kind of in caveman mode. And we think we're really, really enlightened now because of all the technology we have, but we're not really. We're still kind of in caveman mode where we react to a lot of things, and we're not as self-aware as we think we are. So this kind of ties into that a little bit, where we think about this and people are analyzing their lives more and thinking about, she's funny, she's not funny, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know that we've got this figured out yet, but if it's, I don't know, I'm kind of losing my thought there, but I need to think about that more, because it is trying to be the funniest person in the relationship. I mean, you're trying to be, or just whatever. Is it kind of a dominant submissive thing? Is it like, because how does that affect the dynamics of a relationship? I hope that made some sense. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here.
There's also kind of a broader question I'm just thinking about now. It's like, when did humor evolve? Did it always exist? Does it more exist in, say, developed societies? Because I don't know if, like, third world countries have humor.
I wonder how cavemen
Fuck,
did
they do, of
memes.
course.
But okay, do they?
Yeah, dude.
So like, okay, so you go to like the plains of the Serengeti or something like that. You got some villagers. What kind of jokes are they talking about? I guess they.
If I could understand them, I'd relay that to you, but I'm shit out of luck on that.
Okay, do you have an example?
I think so, but I bet the humor is different. I bet obviously it's because it's different content.
Yeah.
I wonder if I want to go back and be an archaeologist and study like the cave drawings and see if any of them are memes. You know what I mean?
Memes,
like maybe
yeah.
some of them are jokes, like when there's like a caveman with a spear running at a woolly mammoth. Maybe that was supposed to be a joke.
This meme belongs in a museum.
I mean, if it is,
Indiana Jones.
you had to be there type of meme to get it.
Maybe it's like, look at this fucking guy trying to chase the woolly mammoth, and like they're just laughing because he's dead.
Yeah.
Like he got trampled. Like,
yeah, we got to research.
I feel like
by
I
the way-
just turned archaeology on its head.
Yeah, no, it's we got to go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Alex Sadik is online, so she says, "Hey guys and girl." So FYI.
Hey, Alex, good to see you last week. Good to
Hi,
meet you.
Alex.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Thanks for being here. Okay, so you had some interactions, Jane. Do you feel like you made your points today? Or
I do. It was good to get that out, get my
Did you
thoughts.
change
And I had
some-
one guy actually openly admit that he would prefer a girl that just laughs at his jokes. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for saying it. Because I
Thank
do
you
think
for-
men
yeah.
say it, men will claim they want that.
They're only
they
hobbling
want-
themselves, honestly, in
What?
the long run. They're only hobbling themselves in the long run.
What do you mean? Who are hobbling themselves?
The men, they're just like, oh, I just want her to laugh at my jokes.
Wait, why is that? What do you mean they're hobbling? Like,
Because I feel it's like, well, if I understood you correctly, which I probably didn't, it's like they want their ego stroked when in
right.
fact,
But I appreciate they admit it. As long
I
as you're
see
being
where you're
honest.
both coming from. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
there is some refreshing honesty to that, but at the same time, it's like, well, does that mean you just don't try hard with your funny jokes? I mean, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Come on, you got to try when you're with your girl. You got to, or a date. You got to try hard. That's who you practice your material on. Or when I'm in our biweekly meeting at work, I throw out my good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you don't want to, but you kind of want to, there's a fine line because you don't want to feel like, as a girl, I don't want the guy to feel like he's trying to put on an act.
Oh, for sure. No, you can't.
Like that's a turn off. Because
Yeah.
essentially you
I
want
see.
something-
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean by that. But well, I mean, you can still be sincere while being funny and shit. It's
Oh
just-
yeah. I agree.
Yeah, there's a fine line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't want to, you never want to put pressure on the other person to react.
How so?
No.
What do you mean?
Like you don't want to, if you're putting on an act, you're expecting a reaction. You don't want to do anything to expect a reaction out of the other party. I mean, if you're at a comedy, if you are a comedian performing, that's one thing. But if you're on a date with someone, you want to have a natural conversation. You want to just kind of, the jokes need to be seamless.
For
They
sure.
can't be a performance.
organic,
Yeah.
because that's,
I see what you mean.
Clever in the moment is good. I enjoy funny women. I mean, I don't know.
What
Makes me
about
happy.
funny female?
Makes me happy.
What about female comedians? I'm sure, they're
Well,
around. I just can't think of anyone.
No,
anyone.
there
Manny's
are
gonna
some that
go
are really
to
good, but
the,
I don't like the ones that just
Hula Hut
talk
and get a
about
drink.
dating
Yeah.
or just being fat or whatever ethnicity they are. Like that stuff gets so old. and
Oh,
it's
I don't like
uncreative.
the ethnicity stuff. It's like I mean, I don't know. It already got so old. I'd rather listen to. What about this? Like, I cringe when I hear any white people in the audience. Oh yeah, we got that. Okay, some white
Like,
jokes.
okay, you're going that
I'm like,
direction.
okay, yeah, I've
But-
heard it.
But this isn't unique to women or any minority because like I would go to comedy shows in Chicago and maybe this happens elsewhere, but like the local comics be these middle-aged dudes and all they would talk about is marriage and like the wife and like complaining about their marriage and the interactions, and it was so stereotypical and I was just like, oh, can you please? But the audience loves that stuff because they're all the same way. So
Oh yeah. Well, they know their audience, I guess.
yeah.
When I did stand up and I did built a routine in the classes, mine was about married life, but how miserable I was.
I was just about to ask you about your what is it? Dip into the stand-up life.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very.
How long
it was
were you
therapy?
doing
I did
that
it-
for?
I did it for about a year. It was 2 sets of classes. After the
Right.
first class, I did get to perform in our showcase for our class. It was like 8 of us. We each got to go up there. It was a paying audience, but it was all family and friends. I invited no one because
Where was this at?
Dallas, at the Dallas. Oh, shit,
Dallas
now I-
Improv,
No. There isn't one.
Cap City.
Now I forget the name because I think they moved and changed the name. I'm drawing a blank.
No worries.
Yeah, but it was like therapy for me because I was kind of going through a rough time, and it was just something I always wanted to do. So I did that, and then after the first class, and the instructor texted me one day and was just like, we're putting on a show. It's like a real show, like on a Friday night. That was their night to do their, the comedy showcases. And it was like, would you want to be I was like the featured, which they have all these different names, but featured basically means you're the nobody. They call it featured. So the guy that hosted came in and did a few minutes. Then he brought me out as the featured. And then there were 2 more comedians afterwards. And I remember the guy that was the, whatever you call it, like the headliner was terrible. Like he bombed, like he was pissed, like he was getting upset. He was like visibly
At himself or the audience?
I think both, because it just wasn't working at all. Yeah, it was weird. But I don't know. I enjoyed it, but and then I did another round of classes and I don't know that I didn't really, I don't know, something I wanted to do. It wasn't something that was like a career goal or anything like that. It was just something I wanted to see. I wanted to like challenge myself. I wanted to do it to see if I could do it.
Chris,
And once I did it,
I saw your video. You actually sent me a
yeah.
a
Yeah, I
file.
sent a few friends the
Yeah.
file, and I've lost it. I've
Yeah,
fucking lost that
and,
file.
dude,
Yeah.
I watched it and it was a little grainy. I'm sure you remember it.
Yeah. It wasn't the
But
best quality.
I'm not even kidding you, man. I laughed. There was some joke about like one of your daughters or something, and it was I don't know. I forget what it was, but I laughed.
Yeah, I was trying. I've got twin daughters, and I was trying to figure out a way to get out of paying for 2 weddings, like 2 colleges, 2 weddings.
Make them awkward. Make them funny.
And then it was like maybe they'd be lesbians, and I was like, then now they're getting married, and it was like,
There you go.
yeah.
Well,
A young mole man was very much enthused and interested in becoming a stand-up before I graduated high school.
Oh.
Yeah. So after, let's see, this is for a sophomore year of middle school. And so yeah, about 96 to 99, I lived around the corner from the Ice House. And because, middle school, everyone's awkward, no one wants to hang out with you, I would either go to the arcade, or once I found out about the Ice House, I would just go hang out outside the building, because one of the rooms was, one of the doors to the main room was like right there on one of the side streets. So I would just sit on my skateboard and listen to sets all night.
Nice.
I never, this is how much of a fucking potato I am though, because I never thought to just walk in there one day and be like, you guys have any open mic nights? And then also because, I had little to no belief in myself, where it's just like, what the fuck what would I build a routine around? Little did I know I had plenty to work with, but I just didn't, I don't know.
I don't think I would have ever done it at that age either. I mean, it took me until, I was in my 40s when I did it. And to be honest with you, like what really put me over the top was I just, had a huge fight with the ex, or we were married at the time. I had a huge fight and I was fucking pissed. And I just started writing stuff down.
I'll show this bitch.
I don't know what it was. And I was just like, I'm going to do this. And then I signed up for the class, and it's very therapeutic, and I really enjoyed the writing aspect of it. So I would encourage anybody to do it. Like not like that was a good way to do it. Not I'm just going to walk down to the Ice House and get on the the stand up, because that can go really badly. And to do like 5 solid minutes, like we had like 8 weeks of classes, and to like really hone it down. And every week we would get in front of this, we became friends, right? There's like 8 of us, and every week we would do some exercises, which you would never think of, but the instructor was like, okay, here, write down one thing you like about yourself, hate about yourself, one thing that, no one would know about, that kind of bullshit. But it just made you like put something on paper, and then you had to get up in front of the class and read it, and you just see what people's reactions were. And at the time I was keeping a hard-boiled egg diary. So I said, all right, well, I'm so bored. I've been doing hard-boiled eggs, and I'm taking notes and timing it, and and everybody started laughing. So I was like, okay. I mean, it's not funny now, but it was like, you don't know. So then you spend 8 weeks like doing your bit, your routine, and getting critiqued by your classmates. And it's like, feels like a safe environment, like, because you're all doing it, right? Everybody's getting up there in front of the class and having to do their thing, and they're timing you, and it's just a process, and you start to learn how to write better. And
were you recorded? Would they video you
in the class?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But you just get instant feedback from them, and they'd say, you need to, like, I was confused by that line. Like, I didn't know what that meant. So you figure out, well, I gotta, again, I only have 5 minutes. I only have so many words that I can put out there. So you learn, how to be more efficient. And I don't know, I did it. It was very, very satisfying, and then I was like, okay, well, I did that, and I was done. I, really didn't have any other higher aspirations. And then the podcast kind of, that was like 2018, end of 2018, Robbie, I think, is when we recorded maybe your first episode. Then it came out in 2019, but and early 2019, and that kind of took the place of like some kind of like wanting to do something creative or talk, so anyway, sorry that. But I would encourage anybody to, if they've kind of got an inkling, sign up for something like that. It's only going to cost you a few $100. You don't
Yeah,
have
I
to
second
show
that.
up.
I did it.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
it
that's
in
right.
Chicago.
Yeah. Jane did that
Yeah,
as well.
and I like the sound of your class. Ours was, I mean, it was also very, it was like 8 of us, and we were in a very supportive, and it was like therapy. And I got into my, I think I talked about spage in there, like I did on a couple episodes ago, and the bullying and just being like an awkward kid, because it's like good material, and it's therapeutic. And I would love to do it again too if things open. I don't want to do anything socially distanced or online though. Like I think it's better in person, just comfortable. And
in the end though, so for that year I was also going to open mic nights at the club, Dallas Comedy, man, what's the last word? Dallas Comedy Club, Dallas Comedy Store, like house, sorry. Dallas Comedy House was the name of the club. Like every Tuesday night I go there, and it would kind of become a lifestyle, but was all exhausting because I would do open mics every week, but I wouldn't get on until like 11:30. It was like 45 minutes from home as well. So I was like I really just couldn't keep that up any longer.
So one of the things would you put like your name on the list? Was it guaranteed that they would call you?
No, and it is very much like you gotta do something, right? So I put my name on the list. Like it was, I think, so then Wednesday morning you had to put your name on, you had to send an email saying you wanted to be on the next Tuesday. So like everybody had their alarm set to send their email at 8 a.m. because that's when it opened up. And you kind of maybe get better times. The better you do, there is this thing of there is a person that decides that, and they're the ones with the light in the back and keeping track of your time. And if you go over your time, you don't, you get, they don't have you back the next week.
They got the hook. They give you the hook.
Yeah, they give you the hook, or they just don't put you on the list for the next week because either you weren't funny or you were just disrespectful, because there's dozens of comics that want to get up there and try their stuff. And but yeah, it's just, and then there's, it's a bar too. So you're just drinking and all that stuff. It's just difficult for me to maintain that lifestyle and, and be a good dad at the same time. So I was, the pod was perfect because it's like, do that from the comfort of your own home.
Just don't eat mom's spaghetti before going up on stage.
Yeah. Don't carb load.
Mom's spaghetti, but it's like, Chef Boyardee. Okay.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee.
Fuck no, that shit's awful.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Actually, speaking of open mic nights and shit, it reminded me of an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when
love that show.
Dee and Charlie, I think it is, they try their hand out at stand-up, and so they go to an open mic, and I can't remember which one it was that went up first, Dee or Charlie, but whoever it was, they go out there and they utter a few, they can't even mouth out a few words, they just utter a few things and just throw up on themselves and run off stage.
Yeah.
That was part of the challenge too, was like getting up in front of people
and throwing up on yourself.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I never did that. But by that time,
gnarly challenge, if you ask me.
Yeah, by that time at work, I was used to kind of getting up in front of people and having to talk and answer questions and all that stuff. So it wasn't as frightful. And also, like, you get up on stage and you're blinded by the light, literally, and you can't even see people. So that kind of can protect you. Yeah, blinded.
Yeah.
But I really, I would just encourage anybody to do that. And
well, you know how a lot of people say, if you're a little slightly overweight and you go to the beach or the pool or you pose naked and people call you brave. Okay, I guess, but I see that as going up on stage in front of a whole bunch of strangers under the lights, being subjected to possible, heckling, ridicule. I don't know how I would react. If I'm heckled, I'm not sure. I don't know how, as far as, I think you got to be ready for that, I guess.
I never got heckled because that's kind of, I don't know that happens on open mics. And
yeah, I was gonna say
people understand.
Pretty nice, like the audiences, unless there's gonna be like one stray asshole maybe, but you just have to.
Yeah.
It's filter that out. Like that's
I
an
had
outlier.
dead silence was something, was an attack when
Yeah, that was an attack.
there's just
Right.
no reaction at all. And it's like, yeah, you just kind of come to accept that. But I've also done presentations in front of people where just like, anybody have any questions, any feedback? And
Oh, dude,
like
crickets.
not crickets. And it's like, all right, well, fuck you, Pete.
that
Yeah, it kind of like you kind of for me, it was like I create with myself like kind of a hostility almost. Like you're gonna laugh at these jokes or damn you. So it's like I win either way. Like these people are obviously have no sense of humor. So I don't know. It's just kind of a weird psychology to get yourself psyched up for it.
right.
I was always afraid I was gonna just totally forget. So if I that was the thing for me too. I think if I would get through my set and not just blank and forget everything, that was a victory. So if no one laughed, fine. I just didn't want to be like frozen up there, like totally forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And just be dangling. That was the worst. That was, to me, that was my worst nightmare. Not having people not laugh at me, but yeah. So
I think Manny was going to say something, but real quick, Jane and I a couple years ago went with Hi-Hat and a couple people. I think Hi-Hat and one of Jane's friends went to the, I think, Flappers, and his friend was going to perform, and
Yes.
her friend was going to perform, but I saw there was these two Hispanics sitting up front that were not laughing at anything, and they looked like kind of cholos. And I don't know, I would have wanted someone to have said something, because they were just super. I thought they were like bookies waiting to like beat up one of the comedians, waiting for him to finish. I don't know. They were just,
like, what were they doing there?
I don't know. Yeah, what were they doing? They were not laughing. They were just sitting there. I think even crossing their arms,
Culturing themselves.
Yeah.
I don't remember this, but so you're saying that these were just like, they were just there to cause trouble for, or they
no. They were just super.
They weren't there to enjoy.
Yeah, they were quiet. They were not even laughing. They were just sitting there.
Right. Do you kind of wonder why they were there? They weren't with other people that were enjoying it.
Yeah.
Or
That's
weird.
Speaking of that, I love comics that do crowd work, that can do crowd work for a long time. Saw Steve Byrne at the Addison Improv a couple years back. And for like a half hour, he did crowd work. Before he got into his stuff, he was just working the crowd, and just maybe they have a lot of pre-prepared stuff, but
Crowd work is very difficult,
it seemed very organic, completely on the fly, completely, or just made up on the spot. But it was brilliant. Yeah. So, speaking of that, I meant to kind of touch on this. We were talking about it before we went on air about today's Adam Carolla podcast with Jason Whitlock and Nate Bargatze. I just wanted to get it up. I mean, it made me so happy because Nate Bargatze is one of my favorite comics.
Funny.
Actually, my very first comedy class, the instructor gave us, like, our homework would be watch YouTube videos of comics.
Cool.
How hard is that, right? So
best homework assignment ever.
Yeah, sign up for this. And it was just like, this is this type of comic. This comic works clean. This comic works blue. This comic tells stories. This comic does punchlines and setups. And like Nate Bargatze was one of the examples of just storytellers, right? Cool. Just because that's a style, and that's where you get your content from, like your interactions with your family, your daughter, putting your dog down, all that kind of stuff. And I love that he was on today, and Adam was making him laugh, right? Yeah. And Nate was making Adam laugh. I love that. I don't know.
Would you say that his delivery is would you say it's kind of like dry?
Yeah, like deadpan.
Yeah. I like that. It's
Jason Whitlock was on fire. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Robbie. You had
no. Lately, I guess because he has a new stand-up special on Netflix, I think, right?
Yep.
He's been on. I've seen. I've scrolled through YouTube, and then I've seen a lot of his videos. So then I just started clicking on.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
He was on Adam Carolla. He was on the podcast maybe a month or two ago, but through Zoom. And it was just kind of them introducing themselves to each other, or Nate, talking about his career a little bit. And it wasn't really like a let's yuck it up, let's tell jokes and make each other laugh. But live together, they were brilliant. So
He was also recently on Joe Rogan, maybe, I don't know, week and a half or so. Yeah. I didn't
Oh,
listen
was
to
he?
him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll have to check that out too.
He
I
was
get on
talking
the-
about how I think it was him. He used to I guess you know how a lot of these comics started from the bottom. He worked at, I think it was like a Boston comedy club, and he would be, you know, kind of distributing the flyers and having people come in, and he was like the lackey for Patrice O'Neill at times and some other one. So he was down here. Patrice was already up here.
Yeah.
But it's good to see them kind of like, you know, do their reps and kind of move up and obviously do their work, do their homework, start from the bottom, and you know you're where you're at now.
Yeah, just to kind of, I know we're jumping back and forth, but just one of the things that in the first class I went to, the instructor's name was Paulos, very, very funny guy too. Maybe I should post some of his videos in our group, but because everybody came with their stuff, right? They had jokes written down, like shit you've been working on your whole life, like. And he was just like, throw all that stuff out. You are starting from scratch, like right now. And we went through a process of like how to create new material, right? And not just rely on things popping in your head, but what's a process where you can create new material and then have kind of a material generator, you know, from your life, or like, what's your style going to be? And it really helped me kind of examine that. And anyway, just kind of the mechanics of it. And that's what I really enjoyed too, was like the mechanics of why does someone laugh at a joke? It's because they're surprised, or it's the opposite, or, you know, Gallagher smashing watermelons with a giant hammer. And like, or no, is that Carrot Top? Who?
No, that was Gallagher.
Yeah.
Gallagher 1 and then Gallagher 2.
His brother.
Yeah.
Carrot Top is the prop comic. He has his steamer trunk or chest, whatever the fuck. He just turns on. Bloop, here's the next joke.
Yeah,
It's
I kind
funny,
of got into that part, like the psychology of it, or like why is that funny? And I think Adam touches on that too. But anyway, go, man.
It's funny, all this stand-up talk. It reminded me, the very first stand-up show I ever attended was in Mexico too. It was this dude that did all crowd work, and this was in the year 2000, and yeah, it was late 2000. Oh, no, 2001. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, dude. That's what also solidified. That's what kind of put, you know, incepted that little idea. I was like, I want to fuck with stand up.
Why don't you try again or go?
Yeah, man. We would be so supportive of that.
Take a class and just like see how it goes.
I appreciate that, but I honestly,
right now, go. Give us 5 minutes. Go.
So back in high school, have you ever had those embarrassing moments where you just can't live down no matter how hard you try? In front of other people?
No. You can't let this stop you. No.
Oh my god!
Tell us the story, Manny.
Was this material, or is this a material for a joke, or is this?
Yeah, I could have used this as material for a joke, but this is.
But it's really his roadblock.
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
Is it? Yeah.
Fuck. Why is it my?
Yeah. Sophomore year, I got thrown into this hodgepodge, weird experimental teaching school program where. Part of the kids were set on a block schedule, and they called it the Education Careers Academy, even though I wanted to be in the Computer Careers Academy.
Wait, what was it called again?
The Education Careers Academy. It was a
okay.
Yeah, everyone was like, so what, are you trying to be a teacher? I was like, no, dude. But in the back of my mind, it's like, what the fuck am I in this for anyway? Like, what do I want to do? Because I wanted to be in the, again, Computer Academy. And when I didn't get accepted into it is when I learned how to haggle, but that's a different story. So at the beginning of this whole little weird experiment, I'm in my first class and they had
Hold on. Why is this an experiment?
It only lasted after maybe 2 or 3 years after I graduated, and then they mothballed it.
So basically,
it only lasted 5 years.
The experiment was splitting the students into computer track versus this general education track.
Yeah,
but you had to test in.
No, there wasn't even any testing process to get in. That was the other thing that really pissed me off. It's like, hey, why don't you take one of the most poorest performing students from the academy, swap them with me, because I have a genuine desire to learn about this shit.
And so what was the criteria? Was this just like,
I don't even know. That's the thing. There was no
hacks.
Pamphlet.
Yeah, there were hacks.
Just like, yeah, dude, that's what I mean. This was like a weird hodgepodge experiment.
Maybe they were just trying to randomly split you, do like a random experiment to see what happens to to students in the two tracks without.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But that's why I saw the future, man. Is like the future's in computers. Put me in there. No, we're gonna make you a TA. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All the
Oh.
work
Teachers
and
were
none of the pay.
hacks.
So
Teachers were
anyway,
hacks back then.
yeah. So sophomore year starting, we're in the first class. We have different classes on different days. And this particular day was English, and in the English class there was all the students were separated into groups of 4. Before the bell rings, I'm in my group and we're just busting each other's balls, blah blah blah. One dude says something to me and I was like, I totally shut him down afterwards with my retort. But what I didn't know was going to happen or have any contingency to stop from happening is my glasses, which you can now see are much cooler Ray-Bans and shit like that. Back in high school, I wore those really weird, really thin frame glasses, but still had to support my fucking thick Coke bottles. One of them pops out.
Thin metal or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
The lens just pops out after I shut down my classmate with whatever fucking comeback I had. It didn't matter. It was a really good comeback. I remember that because everyone was just like, damn, old man just said that. And it ruined everything because the fucking lens flew out at him. It falls on this desk. It makes the loudest thump. And because my glasses they were much more convex back in the day, they start rolling around. So I'm trying to grab it. And it's like, no, I'm over here. No, I'm over here. No, I'm over here. It's like, makes things worse and worse. Like, let me go on the roof and throw myself off. Because
imagine how different your life would be if that fucking lens had stayed in that frame.
Yeah, dude.
Word
what I got around high school is like, hey man, don't bust his balls, so get your ass back. Hey, if you want to bust his balls, it doesn't matter. His glasses are gonna pop out of his frames.
There's no coming back from that. You could have the sickest burn, but if your lens pops out or your pants fall down or something, you lost. Yeah, that's a science of comedy. Man. That's part of the science of a comedy too. Like the timing.
It's all timing. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. You see a lot of comedians that have different kind of like swagger, or they'll grab the mic and kind of walk back and forth, or they'll stop, or one of my favorites is what's his name? The guy that glasses. He always talks about weed, and he has these short one-liners. What's that?
Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg. There you go. Oh man. His are just kind of one-liners, but him. Speaking of stage presence, for the longest time, I read that he hated the eye contact. That he had a lot of anxiety, so he didn't like to look up at the audience. So that's why one of the reasons he always looked down was because he didn't want. He had a lot of anxiety. So I guess it worked for him.
I think comics really respected him a lot, or that kind of comedy, because it's not storytelling. So it's not really pulling things from your everyday life and making it funny and telling silly, stories that have a twist or a turn. It's like really, really, really getting creative, because every joke is like 45 seconds of line.
That's hard.
Yeah. Like I think that commands a lot of respect from
for sure.
You also have to build more material because it's less that you're giving out.
Yeah.
There was a guy in my stand-up class that was very Mitch Hedberg style. Like he just had pages of one-liners, and they were so good. But we also had to get him, he had to memorize them.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't, because at first he was reading them off, and we're like, dude, you can't read them.
Yeah.
Because you have to. It's got to sound natural. So that's another challenge, is just remembering it all, and because your delivery has to be just right too.
Yeah. The level 2 class I took, that's when there were other, I didn't think much of myself, but there were people in that class that were really hard workers, had a lot of notes, writing a lot. They were doing multiple stand-ups a week. They were living it, the lifestyle. And I was kind of like, all right.
You were just a filthy casual.
I was like, I think I've scratched that itch. And, I'm kind of tired, kind of sleepy on Wednesday mornings now,
It's all right. You could always redirect that energy into this Endless Ranters.
Yeah. And then I think it was just at that time, my whole set was about how I felt at that time. It was very natural. It was it's kind of negative, a little bit dark, because I was just unhappy, just like living in suburbia and just really feeling just, yeah. So now if I got back into it, I couldn't do that same material. I think I would have to.
You're not the same man. You're
I'm
not as
not-
emo.
I'm
You're
not
not brooding in suburbia
changed.
anymore.
This flower has bloomed.
Well, Jane sort of touched on comedians and comedy and humor in other countries or less developed countries. I'm from Guatemala. Our Guatemalan president, prior to the one we have now in Guatemala, used to do comedy. He used to do sketches. His name was Jimmy Morales, and he would do a lot of sketches. However, some of those sketches would be a little controversial here because there are some he would
Too
put some.
chauvinistic or what?
Well, there are some pictures online of him with blackface and with the whole, like the red lips and everything. So some countries still, I've seen pictures of. I have a friend in Amsterdam, and I think there was a picture that she posted, on her Facebook, and some of her friends they were wearing the whole black, maybe not the whole lips, the red lips, but blackface and uniform and everything, and it was normal. But anyways, Jimmy Morales, he was a comedian, and years later he became the president. And I have seen some Mexican comedians a little more developed, and one of them was Frank Escamilla. He's pretty popular. He's been on the Fluffy Show on Netflix, and then the other one is
Frankie. Is it
Frank.
like Cholo Whisperer?
Oh no, is that Quinones?
Is that Frankie Quinones?
Is that Frankie Quinones?
My-
Yeah. That one. I've seen him live at the Cobb's in San Francisco. Awesome. But Frank Scamilla, he's good. He's been on TV and Netflix now. And then one guy I saw, and it's pretty much all in Spanish, so I didn't understand some of the humor because it's a lot of some of the slang and everything. It's Mike Salazar. I saw him in Oakland. He was doing a tour, and yeah, he's funny, but I don't get a lot of that humor. I'm more, Americanized. I grew up listening to, watching Seinfeld and all the other, all that stuff.
Robbie
Fucking
Honky.
Pocho.
Yeah, exactly. I know, Poncho. Hey, I love my, I love my Latino comedians, but I'm equal opportunity, comedy guy. So,
Well,
Same.
Robbie, since we're talking about you and social media and stuff like that, Jane, did you have anything else to add on? We started this conversation talking about men, women, the funny dynamic between men and women.
Yeah, I would encourage men to be comfortable enough in their own skin to handle a funny lady.
Take an
I
improv
don't,
class.
I don't try to be, I'm not hyper feminist, but I understand men and women have different roles, and I understand that intellectually, but then in my own life, I'm like, screw that. I just want to be funny.
I like
I respect that whole heart, like all the way.
Like,
100%.
okay, if a guy tells me I'm attractive, like I have a hard time digesting that compliment. Like it just
Same.
I mean,
if a guy tells you that, man.
I mean, it's happened. It's happened before. But like when women also compliment me, is like, why? Like,
right? Like, what did I do to deserve?
like, yeah, and I'm like, what do you want?
Way? But not
and
to
I'm
say I
not-
don't make an effort, but like
yeah,
that's not like if you tell me I'm funny though, I just like get all excited. I'm like, yay!
That's what
I'm
really
so
strokes my ego,
glad.
yeah.
Like that I can digest and appreciate. It's really weird. I don't know if most girls are. I don't think that's normal.
I'm realizing how much of a hero I am of the equality movement, because I kind of think in terms of, I really like it when people laugh at my jokes, so if someone else is telling a joke and funny, I really want to laugh at their jokes too, and I want to let them know they're funny. And it's not, I don't really think of it in terms of who's winning or any kind of weird dynamic. Just like, well, I like it when someone compliments me on this, so I would naturally think that the other person, male or female, would like that if I compliment them on the same thing.
Right.
So,
you're assuming everyone's like you. We all do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I mean, I'm not threatened by it. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So I'm not a hero.
No, you are a hero, actually.
No,
Oh.
I understand that, and I would operate the
back.
same way. But I think there is an instinct to just assume everyone wants the same, has the same desires as you. You know, like, oh, I want to be seen as funny. Everyone else would want to be seen as funny, but it's not always true. There are girls that just want to be told they're pretty.
Yeah, actually, this might be a little, maybe a little different, but back in high school, we were kind of all immature then, but there was this girl who, I thought she was kind of cute and everything. I would see her, I'd smile. I'd see her and I always smile. And one time, maybe it was culturally a little different for her because I think she was somewhat new to this country. She looked at me and asked me in Spanish. She said, what, do I look funny or what? Like, but defensively, I'm like,
What am
dude,
I? Joke to you?
yeah, I'm like,
comedian?
I'm smiling. I'm not laughing. I'm smiling. Like you're making I like, I don't know. Just
Your presence brings me
Af-
joy.
after that, I'm like, screw you. I'm not even gonna. You're done. You're dead to me. But yeah, she got defensive because I would smile when I look at her.
Maybe
That's
she
another
was like a
story.
Spanish Jane type where she felt like you were complimenting her looks and she'd rather you bust her balls.
Yeah, I should have busted her balls. Yeah. Now I do that more often now. I will. If I like you, I probably will, throw minor insults at you.
I like that strategy for myself. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if
it-
it works on everyone.
So when you took, so we're all, doing a podcast now. And all, man, you've been doing podcasts for longer than we have. And Jane, you took the comedy
Yeah.
classes. Has it changed your life in any other way? Like, have you taken it to work, or has it changed your social dynamics, like how you talk to people? I have some thoughts on that, but I would ask you all first.
No, I think it kind of just allowed me to tap into that side for the time being.
But not
Um,
just in that setting, or did you take it into other settings, like
No,
the
because I've always
workplace,
kind of,
or
I've always brought it into
you've
other
already
settings.
done? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I always try to lead with being witty or funny, but like deep. I always like to be deep and like, say stuff that's kind of thought provoking. But dude, that does not. I will tell you, I've been in situations where that just falls flat, and you're just like,
Yeah.
never mind. This is
It might
not
be
my
too heavy.
audience.
Yeah. Might be too heavy for the person at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick on the comments. Alex said Wanda Sykes. And
We're
our
talking
friend
female comedians here.
Yeah. I think she's all right. Joan Rivers. Jane said Joan Rivers. She's funny.
Dude, I forget which fucking, sorry to cut you off, Buggage.
Mm.
There was a documentary about I think it was female comics or something along those lines. But anyway, this is before Joan died, and they go into her house, they go into her workspace. The entire office is fucking tiny drawers, like long, like out of a library with just 3x5s with jokes and jokes and jokes. And it was a big fucking room. I was like, that
I may have
that
seen
scared
that.
me, dude. Like people that work that hard and are like
Yeah.
that about their craft. It's just like, ooh, that's scary, dude.
I
Like
think Joan Rivers is
as Jane
a
put it, the
comedic-
goat.
Yeah, she's a comedic icon. Very, probably not to men as much, but very inspirational to women, because she was
She's fucking
ahead of her
vicious, dude.
time. Ahead of her
Hey,
Yeah,
I
time.
think men could appreciate her.
Hell yeah,
I
dude,
do
I do.
appreciate her, but I wasn't lacking for male role models in comedy. You know what I mean? But Joan Rivers
Yeah.
really pushed the edge early.
Oh, for sure.
Early. Yeah.
I don't know her whole story, but I'm sure she could, box with the big boys. I mean, any feminist would probably say, "Oh, why you got to be the big boys? Why can't it be the big girls?" I don't know. I'm just saying, But yeah, she was good. You know who I
She
like
held her own.
a lot as well as Maria Bamford. If you guys have heard her.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I don't know
remember-
her.
She's
don't know.
dope. I saw her back in one of her stand-ups back in high school when Comedy Central used to play more stand-up specials.
Yeah,
And I was like, yep, I'm about her.
Maria Bamford.
Bamford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bamford. If you ever watch the maybe if you Google it or whatever, the comedians of comedy, you know how they used to be the kings of comedy and the Latin kings of comedy. Well, then
Yeah.
the comedians of comedy, Patton Oswalt was one of them, and I forget
Brian
who else.
Hossein.
Kings
Brian
of,
was saying.
the Kings of Comedy changed my life.
Bamford.
I-
Oh, you're talking about the
Kings of Bernie Mac, DL
Yeah.
Hughley,
Cedric the Entertainer and Steve
Cedric the
Harvey.
Entertainers. Oh, fucking
Dude,
hell.
I have a story about that.
Bernie Mac, when he was talking about, I'll never forget. I say it all the time at work, like beat them till the white meat shows. Like when you're talking about how to discipline your kids.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious. I love that. I watched that so many times. The Kings of Comedy. That, yeah.
Again, back
brilliant,
in
guys. Yeah, go.
middle school days or middle school days, yeah, because this is still when I lived by the ice house. There was a second run theater that was showing the Kings of Comedy. Management at the time was a bit they were sticklers for minors trying to get in to R-rated movies, even though it was like a dingy theater. So I was like, hey mom, come with me, I want to see this movie. All right. Halfway into the movie, my mom doesn't speak English, by the way. She understands it enough to navigate life here as an immigrant, but doesn't speak it. Anyway, halfway into the movie, I'm dying of laughter. All the fucking skits, everything, the vignettes in between everyone's sets. I turn over to my mom to check on her, how she's doing. She is passed the fuck out, snoring, just a mouth agape. Like,
Good.
I was like, man, I gotta pay her back for that.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
Robbie,
thanks for taking me, mom.
Any before we move on to the next interrogation segment, any other names that folks are popping in the chat there?
Oh, well, B. Frank actually said, and I actually used to work in the same building as her. B. Frank said Ali Wong.
Yeah.
I find her funny. I used to work, she used to work at my office building when she was an office manager, and I'd see her. I actually saw her for the first time when I went to go see Patrice O'Neill at the Punchline in San Francisco, and then she was actually the hostess, and I thought she was hilarious. I'm like, whoa, who's this? Young girl, because she was tiny and young and everything, and I thought, oh, she was awesome. And then I was working at the front desk of the building, and I see her walk by maybe like 2 months later, and I see what walked by, and then I asked my coworker, I'm like, dude, do you know who that was? He's like, oh yeah, Ali. I'm like, yeah, do you know who she is? Oh yeah, she works upstairs. I don't think he knew that she did comedy. So finally, maybe 2-3 weeks later, I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna ask her, and I'm like, hey, Ali, yeah, I have a quick question. Do you do comedy? Which I knew she did. She goes, yeah, well, you've seen me? I'm like, yeah, I saw you with Patrice O'Neill. Oh, cool. And she had her bag, and she goes, hey, look, I'm performing at this Christmas thing at the Punchline, because I think that was her place. And then I went to see her like maybe 3-4 times at the Punchline. Once I went to see her, I took my friend, and she goes, yeah, you always remember, come and see me. I'm like, oh, of course. And then now she does big theater. Last time she came,
Netflix
she came to the
special
Masonic in San Francisco, and that one's a big theater. It's like packed. Her husband was selling merch and everything. I couldn't say hi. It was packed, but yeah, she's funny. She's funny. So there are some female comedians, some that might not be too obvious to us. Amy Schumer, no, I'm not a fan. Tiffany Haddish, I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan. Tig, what's the Najero? No.
Nataro,
yeah. Nataro. Hannah Gatsby, no. Chelsea Peretti, I think I like her. And a few other ones, who was the one that did the roast? Oh, she was blonde. She was
Nikki Glazer.
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
she's
tough.
Stuff is awesome.
Yeah, she's another young like Joan Rivers. I don't know. She's got that, that grit. So
she is extremely honest.
Yeah. So
extremely. Yeah, she's funny. I don't know. I don't really I don't see color and I don't see gender. No,
that's right.
Hero.
I do see gender. So all right. So when we're talking about Robbie and Robbie's interests and his experience meeting Ali Wong. So Robbie, Jane has some questions for you. Before we get into Jane's Got News, Jane's got some questions for you about your Instagram account.
And like maybe this is an extension of our current topic here in a way, in terms
like
of
what men and women are into. And,
yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm on the I'm doing the Endless Ranters Instagram page, and I was like, oh, like who should I follow? Like what account? Where's a good resource for finding accounts to follow?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, Robbie Spotlight. He created his new account kind of revolving around this podcast. Let me go through his. And so I'm scrolling and I was like, the little tiny circles, but I'm like, these women look a little bit scantily clad, or like there's something they're leading
really?
with their sexuality. I could tell just from the teeny weeny circle. So I start clicking.
Female empowerment.
Oh,
Me
they're
too,
empowering
Rob.
themselves,
Me
all right.
too.
Yeah.
So I click on a couple of them and I am like, whoa, these women. Okay. So I can understand, I can wrap my head around, the male brain on some level. Like I get the whole like, oh, I like looking at naked, scantily clad chicks. I understand porn. I understand.
You hear that, everybody? Jane's into women. Yeah.
All right, slow down here. No jumping conclusions.
Dear Penthouse Forum.
I mean, we all know what's attractive in our own gender, right?
Yeah.
We all know. Okay. So a couple of these
we don't in our own gender or
within our like what an attractive man is.
Okay.
We discussed this last week, I think, or wasn't it? I had you guys.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say Rob. It's Rob. It's Rob. I'm just kidding. What are you? He's pounding seltzer water.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I click on a couple of these accounts out of curiosity. And like, I was expecting, classy Playboy-esque, women with the toned body and the abs and, the perky boobs, like this kind of bodies that maybe women generally are striving for. But that was not the case. This was like some very I'm gonna to call it full figured would be nice.
Yeah.
And just I almost wonder if these boobs were photoshopped. Like that's how accentuated these were.
Oh yeah. Some of them seem a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there might be some Photoshop going on, low cut cleavage, just like I am all boob. And, the face is like with the giant lips and the pursing and like the faces are 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is not in the body. Well, very overweight, but they have the boobs to carry it. The boobs are still too big for the overweight body.
Yeah, the body mass index is spiking, right?
Yes.
However, I don't know how that works.
And then there's also the accounts with like the clearly like the daddy issue girl with the tattoos, like covered in the tattoos, like kind of simulating oral sex on whatever object.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter what object, just simulate. Feel free to simulate.
Well, I think Manny posted a meme today. Anything can be a dildo if you try hard enough, right?
That doesn't
I
sound.
did.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that was. I forget what that type of art making or whatever the hell it's called, but yeah, I think it's Stitch Point or whatever.
Yes, it was very well done. It was very intricate.
Yeah, which makes me wonder who did that. Was it a very young lady that has a perverted sense of humor, or was it someone's grandma with a very perverted sense of humor? Because you either have a very perverted sense of humor when you're up until you're a young adult, or when you get into your elderly ages. In between the middle,
is that really how it works? Really?
Yeah, because in the middle, some people just get ultra uptight and conservative.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. It's weird how what direction.
That's kind of scary. And then when they get like 87, they're just like,
fuck it. I made it to the end. Let's
talk
do
about
heroin.
titties.
Let's go to orgies. Let's put all the tits in my face. Let's go.
Manny, you're also.
So Robbie basically follows a bunch of Instagram hoes.
Yeah, but so does Manny. I checked his too out.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I did. You got some skanky ass women promoting ramen, and they're just like sucking ramen like phallically and then like bongs. They also like promote bongs.
Yeah, I have
Bongs.
a wide
That's
range
very
of.
on brand for you.
Oh, like scandal clad women and bongs.
And
Okay, so
eating
this is what I
bugs.
follow. Yeah, this is what I follow. Either cosplay chicks, stoner chicks.
The Asian chicks that look way too like they are illegal.
You can't tell with them. Drum shit and weed.
So okay,
Weed
both
companies.
of you kind of fall into different categories. I'm trying to because I can wrap my head around, the classy high-end Playboy model thing. I cannot wrap my head around following a bunch of accounts of 4s and 5s.
Okay, so
I can, but I'm gonna let these.
Yeah,
themselves.
please. I want
I'll
to
go
hear this and I'm going to dig in. So
uh,
allow me to interrupt when I want to.
as far as the Instagram thoughts that I follow, this has all been amassed like earlier on over the years. It's not like I'm always like I open up Instagram, blue, let me go follow these hoes. No,
Mhm.
I don't I mess with Instagram is when I make posts for How We Figure or tag myself in posts from How We Figure to my personal account to let people know that I'm on Twitch. And then every once in a while I'll message some coworkers, but aside from like actively being on Instagram, I stopped doing that a few years back. So a lot of this shit's old, like the
Got it.
accounts. Yeah.
They're like your younger, high raging hormone days.
I mean, I'm still a ball of raging hormones, but I kind of compartmentalize that shit so it doesn't distract me as much.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so you've had a gradual buildup of these the scant
Yeah.
accounts. Yeah.
I'll follow. I'll like click. This is what I'll do. I'll be like follow, and
Are they
then
popping up in your people to follow? Like, are they, is Instagram?
I never
suggest-
follow those people.
sometimes
the
I literally.
suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it's kind of if you followed one, then they'll suggest 2 or 3 more.
Right. So you found one and then they like latched on to that.
Yeah, and they keep on following my, suggestions. It's kind of like Hydra. You cut off one head and then 3 more pop up.
appear.
Right.
Yeah,
There's a bit of a
so,
domino
Yeah,
mushroom effect. Got it.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you're
But
just like,
So you also bite that you bite on it.
I do. I'm like, okay.
he's
you
a
know?
red-blooded American.
Yeah.
blood.
He
Central America.
apologizes to
Okay,
nobody.
now I want to rope Chris into this because Chris is squeaky clean on his follows.
Because he's in the PTA and who knows what.
Okay,
not.
Chris.
no.
Chris, hypothetical.
Mhm.
If your follows were hidden, would that change things? Would you follow accounts like? Would you follow these 4 and 5 women, loose women?
I probably would, and I don't really think about it. Well, I was married for a long time, so you got to be pretty careful. You
You're
gotta be
not.
careful because
You're not now.
No, and I didn't go on like a follow skank spree after my divorce.
Okay,
but
but you're also
I don't judge it. I just I'm very pragmatic, so it's like, and I don't get on Instagram at all. I don't like Twitter. I don't really get on there for pictures.
Get into
of
the
things.
pragmatic.
But
Explain that.
well, there's pornography. There's free pornography. I don't know if you not noted, if you weren't
Okay.
aware.
So Rob
I mean, there's
also has access to free pornography.
Yeah, but it's like maybe Rob, is like just hanging, walking down the hallway during the workday himself. I'm gonna, log into Instagram and first of all, it's not well, I'll get into that later, but he's just like, yeah, like this little TNA right now,
Is it like to get
I don't have
7.5
7.5 minutes to get into the U porn, but I like to see a little TNA just to wet my whistle. You know what I mean?
Is that
Yeah.
it, Rob?
It's an
A little
appetizer.
snack.
But let me go further. Why don't you just follow like the Playboy high-end bikini models? Or is that
Because
not your type? Or whatever, like
As a former attorney and prosecutor in Robbie's defense team,
I plead
one-man
the
defense
fifth.
team, those chicks are phony.
They're very
You
phony.
know what I mean?
so you like the real, but
I like the attainable.
so
ones.
it's attainable.
Yeah.
That's what okay.
Yeah.
For real. Real.
I can attain them with my credit card and my three-digit, security code
Okay.
or whatever.
So you're not about the fantasy. You're more into like, is this feasible?
Snaggletooth porn.
Yeah.
Without,
No,
you know,
I like
without the snaggletooth.
I like as far as looking, there's some different types that I just different. I like creative, it's a coalition of different styles, a rainbow coalition, if you will.
You're
Like-minded people
casting a
that
wide
happen to have
net
giant
to
tits.
increase
You know,
your odds.
Full
Is that what
figure,
it is?
or Lucy Lou, or I don't know, you know,
At first, Lucy, I thought was like loose women. Before you
Lucy
added the
Gooseys.
Lou.
That's the other definition of a Lucy is a loose woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woman.
No. I don't take any of that in seriously. But I will do this. Sometimes I'll just follow. I literally will follow. And if I, sure, they look attractive and stuff. But then sometimes I'm like, well, what am I doing? Then I'll just unfollow.
Yeah, what am I doing? And you're like, I'm checking out some TNA.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing as I
But
walk down the hallway.
I actually do follow stuff that I may or may not agree with. Sometimes I'll argue with people online, and I do that often.
He's trying to rescue them, Jane.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Color me
If you
shocked
see-
about you fighting online.
I did see one of these online thoughts, and she posted like her her vaccine card or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so did
so
you cut
you
the
will
line?
Where's your
You'll
ACT
put on the
card?
Robbie in the Ace Hole group cat and kind of get into it with that, with these the loose women.
No, not with these. Not with these. I'll get it on other accounts. Other accounts. I won't fight with the loose ones. I'll
Oh.
agree with them. I'll
That'd
agree
be
with everything
funny.
they
That
say.
would be funny.
No, actually,
That could
no, I
turn
did
some
get,
of them on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it could. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get a warning. Instagram gave me a warning because I said, "Be gone, ho," and then they they sent me a warning like, "Oh, your account could be disabled if you continue." I'm like, I just said, "Be gone, ho."
Sometimes that makes the host like you.
Yeah. Hey, who's this guy? He wants me to be gone. I'm not going to be gone.
Be
I'm gonna-
gone, ho.
Yeah.
That's such a great line.
Be gone, ho. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know.
canceling women's deep-seated desires now from
I'm trying to
men.
think. There was a
They're not all hoes. I like the ladies too.
on my main Twitter account. I've got I follow a bunch of people have a lot of followers because it was more about sports, and there was somebody I followed that he would always retweet. Like, I didn't have to sign up for those accounts and like follow those accounts because this dude would retweet like pornography.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like you're just like tweeting down like politics. Like, oh, there's some chick just getting railed. Like, what? Whoa, that doesn't look like it belongs
That's a
here.
shtick.
Like, yeah.
I will say this. I'll have a couple.
So I didn't
of,
need to follow them because it was there already.
I'll have a couple of assholes. They'll send me on my Facebook Messenger. Sometimes they'll send me like a funny / nudity, meme or video, like women like woohoo, and I'm like, whoa. Now if I see a DM from one of these one or two guys, one of them his name is Chris, not this Chris, and then another guy, a friend of mine, Phil, they'll send me like just so I got to be careful when I open these messages around people.
Oh, they're like sharing
Yeah,
kind of
like clips.
X-rated or
Yeah,
borderline.
Those are called good
X-rated.
friends.
yeah, they are. They're the best kind. Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
So I
pay.
think are you satisfied, Jane? Have you gotten some answers here about because as
little,
Adam Kroll always says, you will never understand the depravity of man.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I
no.
get
man.
Rob's like attainability. The attainability factor is sort of what it helps explain it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think
Like-
I don't think I seriously would want to attain these Instagram models. But it's just interesting. I'm not even
Interesting.
attracted. Some of them do look like, oh, what? Okay, well,
I
I'll
wonder
follow
who
you
she
anyway.
voted for.
You know what I do? I pity follow some people. So yeah,
Okay, so you're trying to fix the broken girls.
that's what it is. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like the one girl that with the tats and like she looks so white trashy. She was like drinking like a big fountain coming up into her mouth, like I think. And I was like, this
She's
I don't-
thirsty.
okay. Maybe
She's
that's
thirsty.
a sweet. If you're
Was she
if I'm gonna-
guzzling anything?
You know what's funny? I went back to her account today and she made it private. It
Really?
was really weird. Like yesterday,
She knew you were
was-
stalking
She's like,
on her.
who is this
Yeah.
Jane bitch?
Yeah.
But she's just so clearly like daddy problems and like I just feel like I felt bad for her just seeing this. So if you had the same thing, you're like, I'm gonna follow you because I feel bad. I'll give you the benefit of the
Yeah.
doubt.
I
theoretically.
feel really bad when I follow these.
I hope she doesn't actually give you a hard on.
No, it's hopefully if I take the Pfizer vaccine, that'll help me with that situation. But no,
Theoretically, if you're looking for skanks, you're not looking for one that's like, oh, she's got a very good relationship with her father.
yeah, exactly.
That's
True.
that's not
Well,
going to work out.
Speaking of which, look, an issue I had, and I brought it up amongst some of us, is who
Rob's
is it?
daddy issues. Here we go.
You know who just I guess opened her OnlyFans was Bad Baby, right? Okay, did I mention this last time?
You said right, as in I don't know who that is. Is this Cash Me Outside girl?
Yeah, that's the one. That's
from the
one.
Bunny Boo Boo show.
That's Bunny Boo Boo. Like I have issues with people like literally they had a timer like, oh, when is she turning 18 and go guys, and like dude, it, like I don't know, that's kind of creepy a little. Like I get it, I think I've already said this, like, there's guys waiting for the Olsen twins to turn 18, and they're 16. Oh, we're waiting a year and 3 months. That's I can't do that. I'll stick to my cougars, and
that'd be good. I mean, I'm okay with like the
women.
dudes that are, let's say, over 30, who day one of Cash Me Outside girls, OnlyFans, like the dudes that signed up right away, they can go on a list. I'm fine. I'm okay. Not a real big fan of government making lists, but somebody should make a list of them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're like they're the type, if it was an actual physical store, they'd be there, like when the Nikes come out, at 7 a.m. Oh, her pictures are available online, Yeah. No.
Shit's getting weird. Yeah, shit's getting weird about that in our society. Like, not to go like America's getting really good at churning out crazy people. Whether they be 50-year-old dudes that are into 18-year-old OnlyFans accounts, or 18-year-old girls that, like the moment that clock strikes 12, they're fucking putting that out there on OnlyFans and becoming millionaires, like, or like just, shooting up their school, whatever. We're just cranking out all kinds of crazy nuts. Yeah. Anyway,
A lot of people doing a bad job of rearing kids or having kids when they shouldn't.
that's what, it goes back. Yeah. We need to start throwing more parents in jail.
Yeah.
Or in the stockades in the
Oh, you want to go antique with it, huh? With the with the shaming.
Yeah, maximum shaming. Yeah.
I
Not
feel
me,
that.
unless my kids do something, then it's like,
Oh fuck! I got
their
a
mom's
bitten
fault.
by my own snake. No,
Right,
it's the
at least
mom's
look-
fault. It's that bitch.
Shoot your load, don't shoot your school. That's what I always say. So stick there.
Yeah, like maybe these dudes are not aware of all the free pornography out there. Maybe they got blocked on their
No, dude,
home
they're
internet.
fed up with their pornography. It's like, damn it, I want a
They have to
woman to
up the
touch
game.
me.
Yeah.
No, they got to up their game.
We're just
Yeah.
we're
Want a
creating
personal interaction.
we're
Yeah.
creating a lot of crazy people, aren't we?
Yeah.
We really are. Yeah. It's kind of sad. I mean, I'm joking about it, but it's sad in a moment.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, we're running good. So Jane, how do you
Yeah.
feel about Robbie's defense here? Or
Yeah.
not that it needs
Stay-
one. He's a
stay
red-blooded
tuned.
American. If I'm not
Stay tuned who else I follow.
Stay tuned for
Yeah.
what?
Who
He's
else
gonna
I
start
follow.
following. Yeah, he's gonna start
Yeah.
following even weirder accounts after
Yeah.
this.
Check me out.
You
Robbie
should, just to
Spotlight,
throw Jane
Instagram.
down a rabbit hole, because Jane when Jane gets onto social media, there's not a follow button, it's a stalk button.
Yeah, dude.
I explained my purpose on this.
Because there's no one click, it's click and then fucking deep dive.
She's like
Deep
Oh, yeah.
dive. Click.
clicking machine gun.
Yeah. There's probably an app for that. Like, show me what my friends follow.
Yeah, probably.
No, but my follows are clean. I don't know
They
why.
were really clean. They were really clean.
A lot of
Of course.
Oh, I looked. It's a bunch of like nice moms
Yeah.
and family oriented.
Manchester
Yeah.
United.
Yeah.
Are you a soccer guy, Chris?
I love soccer. I love the Manchester United Football Club. Yeah,
Mm.
I love it. I love it because one of them. Well, it's the beautiful game, right? It's the game of angles. It's continuous. There are no commercials.
Nah, son, the game
The
of
best-
angles is billiards. What are you talking about?
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about billiards, but soccer is like that too. Yeah, it's just a constant. Anyway, but yeah, the fact that there's no commercials, like you can watch the game, and you don't like when you watch the NFL, you're literally you see more of the CBS, CSI,
Oh, wait, there are
Miami,
commercials.
huh?
When I'm at my uncle's house and he's watching el football, there's times
Mhm.
where they cut to commercial breaks.
But they always show the game in the main screen. They'll do like maybe in a corner, I think.
Mm.
But no, during the halves, they don't really show commercials. They have commercials in the middle. But I like that continuous gameplay. I don't like stopping every 13 seconds for analysis. I mean, I love the NFL too. I like watching football. So I mean, I have that unique ability to like both sports. I like dogs and cats because I'm just good like that. And
'Cause you're a hero.
Yeah, I mean, it's unique. But I just always think when I'm watching the NFL, I'm watching like you're seeing more of the CBS primetime lineup. Like what's on Molly and Greg or what's on CSI Miami this week. You see more
Greg's
of that
on
than you
Molly.
actually see football. Yeah, Molly. Yeah, that works on a lot of different ways.
But
So Rob, I'd say carry on, you soldier.
Thank you.
Skanks need support too.
I'm on a mission.
You know what
I
I
will
mean?
fix these ladies.
How else are these damaged women going to make money or find mates? Or and Jane, you carry on too with the. I'm just glad I came out clean on this. That's all. Yeah.
Good job.
That's all. Yeah. So I don't know where we are with time, but
it's time for Jane's news. Is that
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
let's
is
do.
there a
I've got
news
some
story
palate.
you wanna-
I've got a nice palate cleanser here.
Okay.
'Cause we've been on right. We've been on Insta hosts, and I've got a story about Mike Rowe.
Insta
So
host.
Mike Rowe.
yeah, and he's like
Really?
all around nice guy, right? Like
I
just
love him, man.
down home, like all American dude. No one dislikes Mike Rowe. So he was on a flight recently to Nashville to do a shoot Dirty Jobs is on the Discovery Channel. And so what's great about this story is it's sort of open-ended. So he was sitting across the aisle from an old lady. She's like a great grandmother, and she was doing a crossword puzzle. And she started chatting up Mike Rowe from across the aisle. And they're having, and she was eventually
She likes
was
him young.
She's at that
Yes.
age. She's at that stage of life where she's just like, let's Mile High Club, Mike Rowe.
So she was
Like, I
doing
got a dirty job for
crossword-
you.
All right. I
So
think that's
okay, she was doing her little crossword puzzle, and she asked him for help on 54 across. And so he leans over to look at the clue, and it realized that he was the answer to the clue.
Oh
cool.
wow! How?
Yeah.
Is that,
so
is that
he
would
was-
that be
and in his
meta?
head, He
The
was like,
big- Magnet.
yeah. So then he was like, oh, she's playing, that's funny. That's cute. She like knew it was me all along. And he kind of went along with these like, well, he like pulled down his mask and like, he was like, sometimes sweet old lady will ask you, he had, I forgot how it went. Anyway, he did a thing where he like pulled down his mask and like made like a joke of it, like, oh, ha ha, like, you know who I am, blah, blah. And then she was like, just kind of turned back to her crossword and like kept doing it. Like, she was like uncomfortable.
So she was done with him after that.
Yeah. Like
okay.
maybe she didn't really know who he was.
That's weird.
Yeah. So
So
it's
Mike
sort of like
Rowe.
this,
Okay.
yeah. So apparently she didn't really know who he was. Anyway, he like posted a little picture. He did like a selfie at an angle to like capture her, and you see her just like hunched over looking, and she's got her mask on, and he took his mask down. Tisk tisk. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, he like made a post about it, and he's like, who knows? It's kind of hard to tell.
That's funny because that's a moment where it's like, yeah, well, I don't know that Mike, Mike Rowe's human. So he probably has those moments where he's just like, yeah, I got recognized. And then the lady's just like, all right, lean back into your seat, fella. I'm on a flight. Stop talking to me.
That's a
Speaking of
good
masks,
measure.
though,
It's a good
speaking-
measure that you made it being in a
Yeah.
crossword,
I
especially
like
a
Mike
one-star
Rowe.
crossword.
I really like that guy. I think he's very kid friendly. I watched Dirty Jobs with my son. We watched that and just kind of, it's good. Those are good moments with young kids where you can explain to them how the world works, and like that it's not all about everybody just, big up in themselves and their fancy jobs and whatnot. It's like, a lot of people that make the world go round. But speaking of masks, I just want to congratulate everybody that's taken part in the vaccine trials over the last 4 or 5, 6 months or whatever. We learned today that now the Pfizer CEO came out and said that people most likely need to take a booster, like take the vaccine again after 12 months. Oh, yeah. This is just the gift that keeps on giving. Anyway,
No.
that's just that. I'm just digesting that still. I hope people are outraged about this bullshit. And not against vaccines or anything like that, but just it's starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense why the message was get vaccinated and keep your mask on. Starting to make a lot more sense now that Pfizer comes out and says, "Oh, you'll need another booster in 12 months."
Yeah, we need to we need an endpoint. I was all ready to go after the Johnson & Johnson one-shot one, but they stopped that because 6 women out of 6 million doses got a blood clot.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Well,
like one of them died, but you know what? Like birth control pills cause blood clots way more frequently.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, let's say that the people that are studying these things, there's only 6 women, and not to minimize that, but 6 out of whatever it's a tiny percentage, but maybe they know something. Maybe they know that this is a trial vaccine, that everybody's really in a trial right now because it's not FDA approved. It's approved for emergency use. Now they're trying to do testing on kids and approve the vaccine for emergency use, not FDA approved like your vitamins and shit. It's or like the flu vaccine. These are approved for emergency use, meaning that the standards are lower. You can't really take any kind of legal action if the vaccine trial kills your mom or something like that. Now they're trying to put it on kids, but there's no emergency with kids in COVID, is there? There's not.
No.
So why would they be forcing or trying to force an emergency approved use only vaccine on kids where there is no emergency? There's no emergency with children and COVID. And by that, I mean, yes, kids will test positive for it, but the mortality rate of the numbers, they're next to nothing. So I don't know. It's a snowball. It's a snowball rolling downhill. We've borrowed millions, billions of dollars from our grandchildren because we don't even have the money to pay for this shit. And just handing over blank checks to all the big pharma companies, not just one either, 3, 4 of them, anybody that wants to join in. Billions of dollars borrowing from the future for our great grandchildren to vaccinate our children. All right, rant over. But yeah, people should be fucking outraged.
You hear the outrage in your voice, Chris.
Let's get back to comedy.
I have another palate cleanser.
Okay.
Yeah. So talk about taking the high road. A restaurant owner in Georgia, his restaurant was vandalized and these guys broke in and tried to steal cash, although there was no cash in the register, but they did throw a brick through the window, through the door, the glass door. And instead of taking legal action and trying to find them or arrest them or whatever, he took the high road and he made a post on Instagram offering them a job. You know, he's like, you know, his thought is these guys are struggling with life choices. Maybe they need an opportunity. So this was a couple weeks ago. He posted, "Our burritos are such a smash hit. We've got people breaking in at 4 a.m. for their fix. So if you see our door looking hurricane fabulous on Wheeler Road, this is why. To the would-be robber who is clearly struggling with life decisions or having money issues, please swing by for a job application. There are better opportunities out there than this path you've chosen. My
Damn,
personal
that's
cell is blah, blah, blah. No police, no questions. Let's sit down and talk and how we can help you and fix the road you're on. Sincerely, Carl."
Carl's
is-
a diamond in the rough, man, because
Yeah.
That
there's
is an
not that many people.
extremely high road.
Yes.
Extremely.
Yeah.
I kind of respect that on some levels. They may be trying to employ a pedophile because you never know what this fucker's background is, right? It's like, yeah, what a heartwarming story.
no.
Oh, have you looked at
Way
his
to shit on the
priors?
point.
Pedophile
So
sits at
he's
his
got priors.
computer.
He's got all kinds of prior. Like this was not his first crime, mind you. Oh, anyway. Or
Also-
like, man, what if this guy's got like a history of identity theft?
No.
So he's basically
Don't they
employing
sit
some
behind their
guy that's
computer?
like, you're handing your credit card to this guy like 100 times a day. I'm sorry.
No. These are not technological guys. That's my theory, at least. These ones who are breaking in, they're not sitting behind they're not computer
Good.
savvy.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
be computer savvy to do identity theft or even be a pedophile.
You're right. You're right. Although identity theft is not always computers. It could be just, I just steal shit out of your mailbox. But you're right. I know.
Someone-
I'm sorry.
Okay, true.
I'm
There
sorry.
could be the front line or is stealing out of your mailbox, but they have to give it to someone to do all the computer stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, I mean, this is because I do have I have a heart, and it's like, yeah, people that commit crimes like that, they are, in their mind, there is no other choice. Because I don't think that humans want to do that stuff. I think that yeah, they're hopeless. They're in really they're making a really bad decision. They're making a decision that like, it's better I could go home or I could smash a brick through this window and try to steal something. So I don't know.
Yep.
I just give people a lot of credit, like that the average, humans are not stupid or craven, or, like most of them aren't like out just born willing to like destroy. Like they feel like that's their only choice. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. And so I do have I like this. I like this story. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I thought it was. I mean, he also probably figures there's not much hope in finding the guy. So
Yeah.
you might as well just make a dig into your soul a little bit.
Yeah,
and
sort
just
sort
put
of
that
reminds
side out
me
there.
of whenever I see businesses get like graffitied all over the walls outside of the restaurants or stores or whatever, near wherever, right? My area, there's a lot of murals, so I feel like always, if there's any graffiti artists out there, you can correct or agree with me if you want. But I've known a few, and I feel like it's kind of like a losing battle. So why not just join sort of forces with them, or have them? Some businesses will actually hire graffiti artists to actually just do a mural on the wall, and you'll give them some recognition and you'll give them something to do. And part of the reason that they do that is so they can also have their name up there, to throw up, and they can put their name up on a corner or something. And yeah, it gives them something to do. They can express themselves. Of course, in this case, in the story, it's like, breaking and entering and, trying to steal and everything. But over here, they're trying to, do property damage with spray cans, but they can kind of do that legally if the property owners will just kind of be smart in a way and work with them. And then I think that's a way to kind of, you're not really combating it, but at least you're kind of dealing with the problem.
You're also
No.
just approaching them as humans rather
Yeah.
than,
Mhm.
degenerate criminals or.
Oh, for sure.
I had
And
an idea to stop the looting.
yeah. What is it?
Well, speaking of mural artists,
Uh,
so like, if you're in Minneapolis right now, I think a big business would be doing George Floyd murals. So if I was like the Foot Locker, or I was the Walmart or CVS pharmacy, anything within stone's throw, would be do a George Floyd mural on your front door. Because as they, because we've seen the pictures of like the Amazon Go store where there's a big sign that says Black Lives Matter, we support BLM, all this stuff. And then there's like there's like brick holes in all the windows. But if there's a George Floyd mural, they'd be like running with a brick, like cinder block, like, oh, we better stop. We better not do that. Like, we don't want to desecrate this guy. So
yeah.
I think that would work. Maybe. No, you guys don't think so?
Who would be the artist to take up this, to capitalize on this, you think?
I don't know. I've seen George Floyd murals,
Right.
a lot of them, or a few of them. So I mean, there's somebody out there that knows how to paint this dude's picture, right?
Yeah, but I doubt they're going to be like, yeah, let me help this giant company and paint a mural on their storefront.
Hey, that check's big enough. It's like, fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll do it. I don't know. It's just an idea. I'm just a pragmatist.
Hey, yeah, if you're a mural artist out there, prove me wrong. Prove us wrong. endlessranders@gmail.com.
I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but also I don't really like to, paint murals of career criminals either. So,
well,
Jane,
just like
next story. Sorry.
Well, we're real quick. just
I feel like that's all my palate cleansing news I have. I feel like that's what we need after this episode.
wasn't there like a volcano that erupted?
Yeah, but that's kind of, there was a volcano that erupted in the Caribbean, and they're trying to evacuate everyone, but they're saying you have to have been vaccinated.
Oh, come on, dude.
To evacuate you. It's
That's
like
some straight up bullshit.
This is classic arranging the chairs on the Titanic as it's
Yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck? What are we doing here?
no. Just no.
That's fucked up, man. You know what?
You didn't mention that part.
Send Carl to the Caribbean. I'm sure he'll fix this shit straight away, man.
Carl? Carl?
Yeah.
Who's Carl?
Carl, the man that's from your High Road story. That guy.
The restaurant owner.
Yes.
Oh.
Wants to hire the identity theft criminals.
Because he's got a better outlook at life than, oh no, have you been vaccinated? Bitch, look, lava mountain behind us is going to kill us.
Carl will pull up with his boat, be like, I don't care if you have a vaccine passport or not. I will take you away from this volcano island.
So Biden did say he was going to not do the vaccine passport, which I found relieving.
All this stuff's a distraction because I think that my personal opinion is Biden's not really into the day-to-day. So like people they have an idea, like, let's float this idea, see if it takes, but then, it'd probably get a lot of pushbacks. Then we'll just pull the idea back and then we'll look good for pulling it back. Like, oh no, we're just really not talking about that. And it's all a distraction from everything else that's going on. We're arguing about masks, just arguing about masks when so much other stuff is going on. Everybody's, just so occupied with the Derek Chauvin trial and George Floyd and all that stuff. And it's literally like we're like acting as if there's only 3 major news stories in the country. There's only 3 things going on, and there's just hundreds of things going on that matter more. So
exactly.
Yeah. If I'm going to promote something else under my own interest, we're talking about Derek Chauvin in terms of like legal cases. There's a new podcast that dropped today, the first episode of and it's about the Penn State scandal with Jerry Sandusky, which I'm sure was a huge deal back in like 2011, 2012, where he was.
What was that really 2011?
That long ago? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And, apparently that case was so severely mishandled and misreported. And so they're coming out with this journalist, John Ziegler, has been working on this for like 9 years. He's been digging into every detail, and he has a lot of evidence and to exonerate him, essentially. Yeah, it's
I'm
really
really,
interesting. Like these witnesses don't add up. They were kind of they were
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
The witnesses don't they're not credible, and the stories changed, the dates changed along the way, but there was a lot of pressure for this case for this outcome to be true, the conviction. Because they fired Joe
yeah.
Paterno, they fired like Joe Paterno, but
Joe Pa died soon after that too. It's
Yeah.
like, it's tragic. He was,
yeah.
yeah.
They've also
yeah.
they've actually given him back like the wins and like the suspension, that all went away. They
Really,
found
they
no,
reversed
yeah.
that, the championships and all that.
Yep, they gave that all back.
Yeah.
Shit.
That was, I didn't really, I think, back then, I think I was like, had a new kid and all that. I really wasn't paying that much attention to it. I am looking forward to your updates on this story, and that's the AJ Benza podcast. That's
Well,
AJ
okay,
Benza's
so
hosting the podcast.
AJ Benza's producer is also producing this series.
Okay.
AJ Benza is very familiar with the case, and he did like a summary of it last fall, but he's not necessarily heavily involved with the full series podcast, but his producer is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's promoting it a bit. I'm really interested
Yeah.
in this because I think hopefully the curtain has been pulled back. I mean, part of that's like Trump stuff. Part of that's a lot of like Netflix, like shows, like TV shows, documentaries about how much the media, how much pressure or how much public opinion and how much, media in general affects district attorneys, like the people that are the top cops, the people that are really make the decision about whether a, prosecution should go forward. Right. And how much, and they're elected officials often, or they're appointed by elected officials, and they are on a career path. Right. These are not like, I'm sure some of
They're
them
trying to
are,
get
but these are not
conviction.
heroes. These are people that are really trying to either kind of, they went into this line of work not to, take criminals off the streets. They went into this line of work because they've got aspirations for higher political office. They want to make a difference, and they see themselves making a difference. This is all human stuff. They see themselves making a difference, a bigger difference, because they think they're righteous in a higher position. And like, this position is, assistant DA is not good, but I get the DA and I get the, like, and how much the media and public opinion that the media stirs up affects these decisions. And then, because it's like, maybe there was a point where the DA said, we really don't have a lot of evidence, like this is really like, we don't really have a lot of evidence. But then there's so much pressure on
like
their
a lot of
career.
factors in this
Yeah.
case. It was it's not just the DA. It was like the witnesses had their own
The governor had like an
situation.
idea of like what should happen, and they're putting pressure. The governor's putting pressure on this to like, because let's say the DA decides like this is pretty flimsy, and I don't, unless we really like twist things up a bit, I don't think we can really get a conviction here. So they're leaning towards not moving forward. But there's so much political pressure that they're just like, I got to go forward. Like if I don't go forward with this, or I don't like push on, hit the gas pedal, then I'll be ruined politically. So they go forward and they twist everybody up, and they start putting a lot of pressure. Like they give people
money
immunity
in front of potential victims. I mean, they paid out so much, hundreds of millions of dollars to these victims. So you're just like, oh, of course these victims come forward.
Oh, and then the money.
And they went through like repressive memory. Like some psychological, it's like a totally dubious psychological method. Like there's no science behind it.
Yeah. And then the money and the payouts start coming into play. And that, I'm sorry that
Andy had an incompetent lawyer, Jerry Sandusky. Like he went to the medical records show he has no testosterone. He had a condition, he had no testosterone. He couldn't have kids. They adopted 6 kids. That was why. He had no balls, basically. None of the witnesses ever mentioned this, by the way.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting to me, just kind of the case, and then kind of like how the system really works. And I think the curtain's been pulled back, and hopefully, you know.
So you said this is a podcast.
Yes. Okay. It's called with the benefit of hindsight. So if
Okay.
you search that in your whatever podcast app, it should pop up. It's a Workhouse Connect. Yeah. So the first episode dropped today. It's 2.5 hours long. I imagine the other, I think they said 19 episodes. Hopefully they're a little shorter.
Is it a Patreon thing or is it just out
No. This is available to anyone.
there? Okay.
Yep.
We'll post. My memory's not good. We'll post a link to it, and yeah. So yeah, we're getting pretty close to our time limit tonight. Does anybody else have anything else they want to? Anybody else have anything else? Yeah, they want to get off their chest tonight.
I got plenty
did
more
my
to
share.
say. Yeah, we all did our fair share. I think we could save for the next episode.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
Producer Manny. Thank you
think
very much,
so.
sir.
Real quick, I think what's her name? Quana was talking about she made a comment on our post about
Hey,
I
Q.
well, I can't find it anymore, but she was basically commenting on the funny, who's funny. Like she says, when we're talking about funny going on dates, it's either you're funny or you're not. So shout out to Quana for
Love
your
Quana.
your comment.
Yeah, she was the first one to join our Zoom call last week. It's really good to catch up with her.
Oh,
Met her.
I missed her. That sucks.
Met her in person, but yeah, beautiful lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my faves.
Mhm.
Oh,
Four.
hi, Quana.
Faux show.
Oh, so okay. She said, "OMG, I'm listening, but had to say this. Here's the thing about funny people: it's not jokes. Comedians aside, you are either funny or not, and you are funny if people laugh when you are in social settings to the things you say. What the f am I missing?" Okay,
Who said that?
Quana, and
okay.
on the one of the Facebook.
Quana
Posts.
was on our Zoom. I think I forgot to mention that. I think she was on the
Yeah.
early part of our Zoom.
Yeah,
I
came
think
in
I
a
just
little
said that
later.
like
Yeah.
70
Yeah, Chris
Oh my God,
just
sorry,
seconds ago.
Quana. All right,
You know,
next
it's
time I'm
time.
gonna take note. I'm gonna write everyone down as I come in and out. So
But we do plan on. Thanks again, Chris and the gang for setting that up, and I think we want to do some more of that.
They're going to be
Next
bi-weekly
weekend.
from what I hear.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it was good.
fun.
We had a couple other folks that wanted to get in the next time. We'll put out more. It was kind of an on the whim type of thing. It was kind of a stressful week last week, but we'll put out more advance notice and just do it so everybody has time to adjust their schedules and whatnot. So
Hop in, have some fun,
yeah.
crack
yeah.
wise with us.
It's super chill. We don't record. It's safe.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a safe space here, guys.
Drop
we
as
like
many
Yeah.
N-bombs as you want.
interaction.
Drop a digit or two.
Yeah.
all right, so we're winding down. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Producer Manny's told us what's up. So really appreciate everybody for joining. So some social media, I always say just search Endless Runners Podcast wherever you are. And
Instagram, Twitter.
yeah, Instagram,
Gmail.
Twitter. Oh yeah, I got him back on the Twitter, Endless Runners Twitter account today. So I want to get in some trouble there.
Yeah.
There you
Jane's
go.
doing
Get
more
into
with
some
the
fights.
Instagram. Yeah, Robbie is doing our Facebooks and all that kind of stuff. Two Grumpy Bastards is the podcast that we joined. Some ace-hole friends of ours now that they're going to come on our show soon. We're just kind of working out what the dates are going to be.
I'm looking forward to that, to their appearance.
They're great. I had a great time. So I haven't had a chance to listen to that whole episode of us on there. I guess I don't have to because we lived it. But
You lived it, man.
Just to
Why listen?
remember what we talked about. But all I got to say is that we were on there we were supposed to do like 30 minutes. We went for like 2 hours. So that's always a good sign to me. So
Yes.
but as we wind down, thanks everybody. Also check out Manny. He's got How We Figure podcast. Go find, subscribe. As Rob says, smash and caress.
Nug life too, right?
Yep. Nug
Nug
Life.
Yeah, he's got Yeah, tell us some more names real quick, just with
The Kung Fu centric podcast, A Fistful of Fist, will begin next week.
Fistful. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually being
Nug
recorded
Life.
with a friend of mine. He lives in Texas, so he's part of y'all's
Nice.
clan over there. Yeah,
Nice.
shout out to Reverend Catfish. So there's
that. That sounds official.
Yeah. Dude, the Reverend doesn't play when it comes to Kung
Fistful
Fu.
of Fists. Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Is that Nug Life and Otaku Squad, the anime centric show? For those fans out there.
Yeah. How We Figure.
.com.
Again. Yep. Howwefigure.com. How We Figure. Just search it wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts. Time Travel Radio is Jaden's baby. Just a quick programming note. Jaden is he's taking a break from the Endless Ranters. How do you say? We just had some creative differences. I think Jaden is got a shitload of talent in him and is very ambitious about that. So he needs time to explore some of those solo projects. And I just wish him the best of luck. Love the guy. He's my brother. And I'll never forget that that's where we started, right here on Endless Ranters, the two of us just talking about our love for Adam Carolla. So yeah, he's on an extended break, whatnot, whatever you want to call it, but love the guy. And
go check out his work.
Time Travel Radio, super intense, super creative guy. So so if anybody else have anything else to say, I'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Shout out actually to the latest post on Carolla Drinks, features our ultra fan, Adam Carolla ultra fan Addie and Jane.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Check them out.
Really?
Right over here. Yeah, the latest post.
Oh, it's from the barbecue.
With Lynette Carolla. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Foursome
2019 barbecue.
There we go.
Or the fan. Yeah.
So shout out to Carolla Drinks and the gang over there, Emmy and everybody else, Jen, etc. and Lynette.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So until next time, everybody, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. My name is Chris. For Jane, for Robbie, for producer Manny Moman, I'm saying get it on.
Get it on.
Get it